Waiting is one of the first emotional skills a child is supposed to learn. Not to make your life easier as a parent, but because it actually shapes how their brain handles delay, frustration, and uncertainty. But in so many homes today, waiting has quietly vanished. Needs are met in seconds, wants are fulfilled instantly, and any discomfort is removed before it even has a chance to settle in. Over time, this fundamentally changes how a child relates to effort, patience, and managing their own emotions. Now, most parents don't do this on purpose. It happens little by little, one decision at a time. A child gets restless, so we hand them a screen. They want something right now, and it seems harmless to just give it to them. They get frustrated, and we rush to fix the situation to keep things calm. In the moment, these choices feel practical and kind. But when you repeat them over and over, they teach a very subtle lesson. Discomfort is bad, and waiting is something to be avoided at all costs. The thing is, children aren't born knowing how to wait. It's a skill that's learned through experience. It starts with tiny moments waiting for food to cool down, waiting for their turn on the slide, waiting for you to finish a sentence. Each of these moments is a tiny emotional workout for the brain, teaching it how to manage. When those moments disappear, the brain misses out on crucial training. When a child rarely has to wait, frustration becomes a foreign feeling. Even a short delay can feel intense, almost unbearable. This isn't because the child is naturally impatient. It's because their emotional system hasn't had any practice holding that tension. Waiting is where we build tolerance, and without it, tolerance stays low. You might see this and think your child is easily upset or overreactive, but it's often not about sensitivity. It's about a lack of exposure. Their emotional system hasn't learned that wanting something and not getting it right away is survivable. So frustration feels like an emergency instead of a manageable feeling. Another major side effect of a no-wait childhood is difficulty with self-regulation. When kids get used to someone or something else providing immediate relief, they start relying on those external solutions to manage their feelings. Instead of learning to calm themselves down, they learn to wait for an external fix. Over time, this weakens their own internal coping skills. This pattern can go unnoticed when life is smooth. The problems pop up when something can't be given immediately, a rule at school, a boundary at home, or any situation that demands patience. These moments can trigger huge emotional reactions, leaving parents confused. What they're seeing isn't misbehavior, it's a lack of emotional practice. Waiting also plays a huge role in motivation. When rewards are always instant, effort feels pointless. Why work hard for something when you're used to getting things quickly? Children might struggle to push through boredom or a challenge, not because they can't do it, but because their tolerance for delay is so low. Tasks that require focus or have a delayed payoff feel exhausting. This often shows up later in school. They might avoid projects that don't give instant feedback or give up when results aren't immediate. Waiting is what teaches the brain to connect effort with a future reward. Without that connection, motivation becomes incredibly fragile. Socially, kids who can't wait often struggle to take turns, share attention, or navigate group dynamics. Waiting isn't just about time. It's about understanding that other people have needs and priorities too. When that skill hasn't been practiced, social situations can feel unfair or deeply distressing. Parents often react by soothing the child quickly, which accidentally reinforces the cycle. The child gets upset, the discomfort is removed, and they learn that emotional intensity gets them faster relief. This isn't manipulation, it's adaptation. Kids are smart, they adapt to the patterns around them. Finally, there's a powerful link between waiting and emotional resilience. Waiting teaches a fundamental truth. Feelings come and go. When a child has to wait through a moment of frustration and comes out the other side, their brain logs that experience. It learns that discomfort isn't permanent. This builds confidence and emotional stability. When we remove waiting, we rob them of that lesson. Discomfort can feel endless because they've never experienced its natural end. This can contribute to anxiety later on, not because the world is scarier, but because uncertainty feels intolerable. Modern life, with its instant entertainment and on-demand everything, makes it easy to fall into this trap. But smoothness is not the same as strength. Teaching a child to wait doesn't mean being harsh or ignoring their needs. It means allowing small, safe delays. It means trusting that your child can handle a little frustration. When you stay calm while they're upset, you teach them that their big feelings are manageable. The effects of never learning to wait aren't dramatic at first. They build up quietly over time, showing up as low tolerance, weak self-regulation, and fragile motivation. These aren't character flaws. They are skills that were never practiced. Have you ever noticed how some kids just can't seem to wait for anything? As they get older, this simple impatience can evolve into something more. It can affect their attention, their ability to control impulses, and even their emotional stability. These changes don't happen overnight, and they're often misunderstood. Parents might see their child as easily distracted, unmotivated, or just plain difficult, without realizing the real issue, a nervous system that hasn't been trained to handle delay. Let's start with attention. Waiting actually teaches the brain to stay focused, even when there's not much going on. But when children are constantly given instant rewards and non-stop entertainment, their attention becomes dependent on high stimulation. Quiet moments feel strange. Slow tasks become boring. Any activity that requires sustained focus without immediate feedback feels almost impossible to tolerate. This isn't about a lack of intelligence. It's that their brains are wired to expect a constant stream of new input. Over time, this can look like a classic short attention span. They might jump from one toy to the next, lose interest in a game halfway through, or struggle to finish their homework. A common reaction from parents is to try and make things more exciting, more videos, more apps, more fast-paced activities. While this might help in the moment, it actually reinforces the problem. The child becomes even less capable of sticking with something unless it's immediately gratifying. Impulse control is another huge piece of the puzzle. When kids practice waiting, they're learning to create a pause between a desire and an action. They learn that not every urge has to be acted on right away. Without that practice, every impulse feels incredibly urgent. The need to speak, to grab, to react, it all feels overwhelming. Pausing feels unnatural. This can manifest as constantly interrupting conversations, snatching toys, having emotional outbursts, or finding it hard to follow rules that require a bit of patience. Adults might see this as defiance, but it's often just a skill that hasn't been developed. The child's brain is literally wired for speed, trained to react first and reflect later. It's not about a lack of willpower. It's about neurological development shaped by experience. And when that experience is all about immediacy, the brain simply adapts. This directly impacts emotional regulation too. Waiting teaches us that we can feel an emotion without needing to fix it instantly. When that experience is missing, every feeling becomes an emergency. Frustration feels unbearable. Disappointment is a crisis. Anger escalates in seconds because there's no learned pause, no internal buffer. These kids often feel their emotions with incredible intensity, but it's a sign of low tolerance, not deep feeling. The emotions just rise too fast because there's no space for them to settle down naturally. Parents often try to manage this by quickly calming the child or avoiding situations that might cause frustration. This might reduce conflict in the short term, but it robs the child of a chance to learn. Every time discomfort is immediately removed, the brain misses an opportunity to practice self-regulation. As these children grow, these patterns can start to erode their confidence. School, sports, and other structured activities require patience and persistence. When a child's attention is fragile and their impulses are strong, these environments can feel completely exhausting. They might start to see themselves as incapable, not because they lack ability, but because the world is demanding skills they've never had a chance to practice. This can lead to avoiding challenges, which in turn limits their growth and keeps them stuck in a narrow comfort zone. Even social skills are affected. Conversations require taking turns. Friendships need compromise. Group projects demand patience. A child who struggles to wait can find these social situations confusing and frustrating. They might feel left out or misunderstood, not realizing the problem is about timing, not rejection. In today's world, this pattern is amplified. Technology gives us instant answers and endless entertainment. Delays feel inefficient. Waiting seems like a waste of time, but what feels efficient in the moment can actually chip away at our resilience over the long haul. To let small frustrations play out without jumping in to fix them immediately. We'll explore small changes in your daily routines that can help rebuild patience, focus, and emotional resilience. Has your child forgotten how to wait? In our fast-paced world, many kids expect everything instantly. But what if I told you that reintroducing waiting could be the key to building their patience, focus, and emotional strength? And it doesn't require strict rules or punishment. The first step is simple. Slow down your own response. When your child demands something right now, our instinct is to react immediately, even if it's to say yes. But this just reinforces the expectation of immediacy. Instead, try taking a small pause. Acknowledge them, but don't resolve the request instantly. You could say, "I hear you. I'll be with you in just a minute." This tiny, safe delay starts to recalibrate their expectations. It teaches them that waiting is a normal part of life, not a crisis. Next, let their feelings happen. When your child gets frustrated by a delay, it's tempting to rush in and fix it. But emotional regulation is a skill they learn by actually experiencing an emotion and seeing that it passes. Your job isn't to stop the feeling, but to be a calm, steady presence while they feel it. When you stay regulated, you send a powerful signal of safety. Over time, they learn to mirror that calm and manage their own big emotions. Routines are another fantastic tool. Predictable schedules have built-in pauses that kids learn to anticipate. Waiting for dinner, waiting for screen time, waiting for a parent to finish a task. These moments teach patience naturally, without a big confrontation. The predictability reduces their anxiety about the delay. You can also shift their focus from time to outcomes. Help them understand that good things often come after effort, not just after waiting. When they have to finish their homework before playing a game or help with a chore before getting a treat, they learn that waiting is connected to a purpose. It's not just about being denied something. It's about earning it. Consistency is your best friend in this journey. If the rules about waiting change depending on your mood, it just confuses your child and makes them more frustrated. Clear, predictable boundaries help them accept delays much more easily because they know what to expect. And here's a big one: allow boredom. Boredom is an incredible teacher. When we don't rush to fill every quiet moment, kids are forced to tap into their own creativity and problem-solving skills. It builds their internal motivation and makes them less dependent on constant entertainment. You can still be present and connected without being their cruise director. Remember to model the behavior you want to see. Let your kids see you waiting patiently in line, handling a delay without complaining or managing your own impulses. They learn so much more from watching you than from listening to your instructions. And be kind to yourself and to them. This is a process. We're learning how to wait takes time, and there might be some emotional bumps along the way. That doesn't mean it's failing. It means new skills are being built. Acknowledge their small successes. The goal isn't to raise a perfectly patient child, but a resilient one who can handle life's inevitable delays without panicking. By gently and consistently reintroducing waiting, you're not just making your home calmer. You're giving your child a foundational skill for success in school, friendships, and all of life. You're teaching them that they are capable, strong, and can handle it when the world doesn't respond instantly. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more parenting insights.